Recently, I sat down with Anna and Suzelle from FitBodies Inc. If you don't know FitBodies, that's the company that sends instructors, trainers, massage therapists, all kinds of wellness professionals to all inclusive resorts for fully paid vacations in exchange for just a little bit of daily work each day on the part of the professional. So I've traveled with them in the past. I went to Zoetree in Mexico in Riviera Maya. It was an absolute gorgeous, once in a lifetime type vacation. I highly recommend checking them out. They're at fitbodiesinc.com, and that link will be in the description. So I sat down with them to do a webinar for their audience called Creating Revenue Streams Outside of the Gym. And today you're going to hear a recording of that webinar. I'm Kelly Coulter. In 2020, I became absolutely obsessed with helping fitness professionals build their businesses so they could serve their clients during the pandemic. Now, I help coaches just like you make more impact with your perfect clients without adding hours to your day by leveraging the life-changing work you're already doing. These episodes are specifically designed to deliver mindset, business, and direct response marketing tips that will truly move the needle on your business. Ready to get started? Let's go.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is the Travel Smart webinar series, and this is FitBodies Inc. We're really excited to have you guys here. We have a really impactful conversation that we're talking about how to create revenue streams outside of the gym. So stay tuned for lots of insights and things that you want to learn. And first of all, I want to, again, welcome you all, whether you're listening live or you're listening to this recorded. Hopefully you have been on a FitBodies teaching vacation before, whether you're a personal trainer, a group fitness instructor, a yoga instructor, you're certified and licensed to teach Zumba. Come and travel with FitBodies because we promise it's going to change your world. And you're going to love sharing your passion with resort guests all across the globe. So thank you, FitBodies, for having us. And Suzelle Snowden is our CEO and founder. Hello, Suzelle.
Hi, Anna. Hi, Kelly. Hi,
Hello.
everyone.
Hello, hello.
Great to be here again on this very successful webinar series. We are loving your interest and loving that you're joining us. And we love doing this, too. So I'm excited with my good friend Kelly here, who's amazing. And you're going to learn so many great things. I always learn so much from her. So I'm excited to be here to help represent what she's going to say to you guys.
Me too, me too. And Kelly Coulter, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, you guys. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your partnership and your friendship. And I'm really excited to give this talk. I think that we're going to change some lives today.
Yes, we are. I totally agree with that. So just to set the stage, guys, again, we're talking about how to create revenue outside of the gym. So all of us are within the fitness industry somewhere. Maybe we're more wellness based, maybe we're more nutrition based, but creating revenue streams that are different and unique to what your normal business does. Kelly is the founder and president of FitPros Connect and the Grow Your Fitness Business Facebook group. She has over 8,500 members in that group. And she started the Facebook group before Facebook groups were really a thing. So she's definitely a leader in that. In addition to being a fitness instructor for over 27 years, she also built a successful career as an online marketer for over 20 years. So since 2019, she has bootstrapped not one, but two six-figure online companies. She now coaches instructors and trainers on building businesses that they enjoy while also, of course, serving our clients who we love so much. Kelly hosts the Fit Pro Show, which is broadcast on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. We've been on there before, and Sell Out Your Workout Bootcamp. She's also spoken at numerous conferences like SCW, DCAC, Fitness Fest, FBA's Succeed, And she's really passionate about the subjects of community building, organic marketing, and business bootstrapping, like we're going to talk about today. So you can connect with Kelly on fitprosconnect.com. And of course, we'll share that after the webinar today. So we're going to kick it off. We're just going to head straight into the conversation. She's got a lot of really great nuggets to share with us today. The first thing I want to know, I actually have my pen, I have my notebook here, like I'm ready to take notes. I want to know, Kelly, you have had a lot of experience, teaching, training, working with a lot of different clients and individuals who are building businesses. What's kind of like that main thing that you see that is consistent in all the different groups or people that you work with that is like kind of missing in the fitness industry? What's the thing that you see as the biggest opportunity for us as professionals or entrepreneurs building our business, building our business? What is it that you see that you can share with us?
So I feel like the biggest thing that we kind of miss, and we'll talk a little bit more about this when we talk about Peloton and Beachbody, we kind of market to the 20% of people who already have an existing activity, an existing exercise practice, and we fail to realize that there is 80% out there that do not. I believe that as fitness professionals, we all have our own unique audience and niche that we were born to serve. And when we mimic the big guys, we tend to market to that 20% instead of looking a little bit further. So I'm going to go into that a little bit more in detail when I talk about Peloton and Beachbody. That's one of the big things, mimicking the big guys and neglecting that 80%, and then not having a sales process that we can follow. So looking at sales as a dirty word and trying to avoid it by automating things is a big mistake that we all make. And that's a gap that sales and business training in the market is something that is really lacking in the fitness industry.
Wow. Those are like two big rocks that I
think big impact. Right.
Yeah, dove into. So I'm really excited to hear your presentation and hear more. And I think, again, you've got so much experience in this arena, so we can't wait to kick it off. So however you want to start.
Let's do it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my presentation here on presenter mode, and then I'm going to share my screen.
Awesome.
Okay, so I've got just about 11 slides for you guys, and please, questions in the chat all day long. Yeah. Let's be informal. Let's just get your questions answered. So be bold, be brave, stick your questions out there, and let's make sure that you get what you need out of this. So today I'm talking about creating revenue streams outside of the gym. We already asked you, please comment in the chat with your name and your location. Give us maybe a little nugget of what you do. How do you serve people? Are you a Zumba instructor? Are you a health coach? Are you a masseuse? I know that FitBodies serves more than just fitness instructors. And then tell me what you're looking forward to learning the most from this presentation. So I saw somebody already say they want to hear about audience building. I saw some people say they want to hear more about just creating some revenue and getting going. So all kinds of stuff here. Oh, let's go back. Hold on. So I'm Kelly Coulter. I have the Grow Your Fitness Business group on Facebook. That's 8,700 instructors and trainers at this point. I've been serving them since the pandemic started. I've had that group for a really long time. But since the pandemic started, I became obsessed with helping fitness professionals get back out there, get serving their people, and make some real money. I may go on a tangent in a minute about instructor pay, but we'll hold off on that.
Oh yeah.
You can dive right in there if you want to.
Yeah.
And those of you that have been around as long as me, we know what we're talking about there on that instructor pay.
Well, let's just go into it, because I was just on another call. I was telling Anna and Suzelle, I was on a call with somebody that I didn't realize they were kind of like a big fitness celebrity. And we started in on this a minute ago. Fitness instructor pay has not really gone up since the 80s, right? So we have this idea that we're kind of, I don't know, for lack of a better term, kind of beholden to the gym. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so I can get up here and be on with you guys. So a lot of us are going to the gym, and what we find is that we're traveling around from gym to gym to gym, and we're trying to piece together all of these classes enough to make an impact and an income. And the problem is that the pay hasn't gone up. So we're making between 15 and maybe 60 at a really high-end boutique. So
Ooh.
$15 to $60. That's what I find from working with my audience. You guys are preparing your classes for like an hour or two ahead of time. So what's the biggest fear that most people have in life? It's public speaking, right? It's public speaking and then death. So first we have public speaking, then we have death. You guys are out there in a head mic, doing public speaking every day in your workout clothes, in a leotard, wearing a head mic, huffing and puffing and sweating, giving every bit of energy and love that you've got to these classes. You're making between $15 and $60 a class. On top of that, you become a DJ, right? Because you've got to do your playlists and they got to be awesome. You become a nutrition coach. You become certified in 18 different modalities before you're finished with it. And you're still making between $15 and $60 an hour. So it's no wonder that we have got over 150 people here registered to take this webinar, because it's time for us to get out there and claim our worth. We are valuable. And if the pandemic showed you nothing, it shows you that we are valuable. The fitness industry rests on the heads of the instructors and personal trainers. That's why people come to the gym. They don't come for the facility. Okay, so that is not what we want to see. That is not what I'm trying to show you guys. Hold on. Let's go back. Share screen. Here we go. Do you guys see my presenter view, or do you see my chat?
Right now, it just says Kelly Coulter had started sharing her screen.
Okay, good. At least you're not seeing what I thought you're seeing, because I had a really bad experience one time where I shared my screen and my husband sent me something really inappropriate.
Oh man.
Okay, now do you see where it says introductions?
Yes, introductions are there.
Love it.
Okay.
There we go.
So you guys have heard my rant about instructor pay. Let's talk more about that 80% and 20% that I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. You guys, the great thing that happened when Peloton and Beachbody went out there and really put so much money into marketing their services is that they raised the profile of online fitness. They raised the profile of the idea that an instructor or a personal trainer can serve one-to-many. And they raised the profile of working out at home. So that's great. A rising tide raises all boats. But I hear a lot of times people will say there's no use in starting a direct-to-consumer fitness business, or there's no use in starting an online fitness business because Peloton and Beachbody. And the fact is, that's just not the case. Peloton and Beachbody have completely different business models than we do. They put a lot of money into marketing, into research, into development. When they have a new release come out or a new program come out, they've already put hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars into that program. So the only way it's effective for them to launch anything new is that has to appeal to as many people as possible. They have to get as many subscribers as possible into that program. So when they launch, right away, they've got to have a couple thousand, maybe a couple 100,000 subscribers in order for that to work. So they're marketing to people who are already working out, right? Because that's the only way that business model works. We as individual fitness instructors and personal trainers, we don't need 100,000 people in our subscription in order to make our model work. If you get, and I'll do a little math with you guys in a little bit, but if you have 50 to 75 people working out with you, maybe even less, just depending on what kind of effort you're putting into your business, you have got a sustainable working business model for an individual. These are low overhead businesses. So on top of the fact that we don't need as many people, that means that we can create more niche businesses. We don't have to worry about what is the one thing that everybody wants to be doing. So you can take your individual experience and expertise and education and your passion and combine those into something that there's an audience out there for. And it might not be 2 million people, but if it's 100 people, you've got a business. So Peloton is not your competitor. Thank you to Peloton for raising the profile of online fitness. Thank you to Peloton for raising the profile of the individual instructor going one-to-many, but we don't have to worry about Peloton as our competitor. Any questions on that one? That was a little bit of a rant.
No, but that is really helpful, I think, for people, because instead of thinking they can't even venture out because of what already happened, you know, it's not the same thing. And one of the things that I was on a call, I don't even remember what it was, but we were talking about it. It's like, you know, each one of you fitness instructors, you have a business. You are a business.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You don't, you know, you might consider yourself an instructor, and maybe you teach at a place, but you are a business. That's what you are. And so consider that and then take it from there. I mean, I think just that thought of knowing that that's who you are and what you're doing, and you're doing this for the greater good of our whole, you know, global world here of helping people and being healthy and fit and happy. That's a business. So no matter how big and how small, but maybe you might want to take that business that you have already and do some tweaking. And that's what, you know, we'll hear about a little bit here, I'm sure, with Kelly. So
yeah, well, that's such a good point, because you know, we all have it in us. We have everything that we need. I think a lot of times people will hold themselves back because they think they've got to look like the big guys. And that was one of the things that I said in the beginning. And so the fact is that you've got everything you need inside of you. You've already been doing it. You are valuable. It's just a matter of claiming.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to give you the first idea for creating a revenue stream outside of the business. And what I've kind of done here is I've gone from least amount of commitment to kind of most amount of commitment. Who wants to kind of just dip their toe in? And tell me in the comments, if you're somebody that's just kind of dipping your toe in and you want to just try one or two things and see what happens, let me know. And then we'll move up in the level of commitment and the possibility for revenue from there. So the first idea is individual events or even series of events. So I've got a lot of clients who will go out and they will partner with like a local winery for a wellness day. Maybe they'll bring in a local artist or a coffee company, and they've all got different areas of expertise. Somebody gives a talk on herbs, and then somebody teaches a Zumba class, and they create these events. So think about that. You partner with 3 people. Everybody markets to each other's audiences. You've got complementary audiences. You're not competing with each other. You get a couple hundred people there. Maybe you've charged $2,000 or $20 for the wellness day. Everybody walks away with a nice little cash injection, with exposure to a larger audience. Maybe you've collected email addresses from that larger audience, and everybody has a great time, and your audience walks away with great education and a wonderful experience. So individual events are a great way to kind of dip your toe in and just start to think about what is possible in creating a revenue stream outside of the business. Or outside of the gym, sorry. And I'm not knocking gyms, by the way, you guys. You can do do all of this and still work for a gym. They're not mutually exclusive.
I love that point, Kelly.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel a little guilty when I go on my little rant about instructor pay. It's not the gym's fault. All of the gyms are racing to the bottom in terms of price. There's no money there because there's no great business education in the gym space. So it's really just a fault of the industry. It's just, it's a new industry when you think about it. It's only 40 years old.
So true.
Wow.
Hey, Kelly, someone just asked, and I really like this question. What's the best way to partner with some cool people?
Ask around again. Yeah. So Janine is getting the old, yes, let's talk about this later. So I would keep trying until I find the right partner, because let's talk about this later really means let's not talk about this.
Right. Never talk about it.
Let's never talk about this again. But that doesn't mean that the right partner isn't out there for you. It just means that whoever you're approaching is not the right partner. And I'll give the example too of a lot of times when people start to go out and serve clients directly, they'll go to their friends and family and they'll get kind of the same answer, like, let's talk about this later. This just means they're not your people. It doesn't mean that the whole world is a no. It just means that those people are. But I would just approach other people and maybe look at who are your ideal partners and make a list of 25. So if your ideal partner is a winery, make a list of 25 wineries and then approach 25 wineries. If you get to 25 and you really haven't had a hot conversation, call me and let's talk, because something's happening. But I bet that's not going to happen. You're going to have some hot conversations. And then I feel like, okay, I'll let you call out the questions that you want me to answer, Anna. Okay, so idea number 1, events. Individual events, series of events can be great too. So you could do a monthly event. I was talking to a client today about the possibility of her doing a monthly wellness event at different apartment communities, because apartment communities need ways to serve their people. They want entertainment for their people. They want wellness for their people. Same with small companies all around town. And so you could do a series where you go to different places every month and you could do the exact same thing. Now you're getting exposure to a larger audience. And then maybe you can start to move them into, let's go here first. Not into partnership. I'll come back to that one. I'm so sorry. I'm having a little tech issue here.
That's okay. We kicked it off with tech issues.
Yeah, we're just going to be kind of haunted today, I think.
Yeah, well, it works.
What has happened?
What are you doing? It's not rolling.
It's going backward. There we go. Okay. So you're getting exposure to a larger audience, and then you can possibly roll them into memberships or subscriptions. So the second way that I see instructors and personal trainers kind of dipping their toe in is they'll create a membership or a subscription, and they'll do that by regularly leading a workout or a session. This can be in person or online. It could be like a park workout, or it could be, I teach Zumba on Zoom twice a week. There are so many different options, but it's a regular series of workouts. I really like to refer to these as memberships or subscriptions rather than kind of just a series of classes, because the mistake I see a lot of people make is that they just charge per session. And then what happens is that you're spending every single week worried about how many people am I going to have on Tuesday? Are there going to be enough to make it worth my while? When you ask people to subscribe, you become a part of their family. You could become a part of their bills. You become a part of their monthly expenses, but you're also their person. You're their coach. They have like this piece, this connected piece to you. So memberships are a lot more sustainable than per session pricing. That is true with instructors, it's also true with personal trainers. It's especially true with personal trainers, because I think personal trainers get stuck in that modality, that thinking that they will take payment when people show up to do the session. And that leads a lot of times to scheduling insecurity and income insecurity. So really consider putting people on membership or subscription. All right. So
yeah, and that makes sense too, Kelly, because you're already what they're paying for is happening before you show up with them, right? The preparation that we do, you guys all know this here in our audience here. Our preparation time, we already brought that up. So preparation time is money. Time is money, and we're already preparing to be with these people to inspire them to create what it is that they want from your presence. So the reason you wouldn't be expecting to, they should expect that they're, they want you to be prepared. They don't want you just to show up and figure out what you're going to do on the spot. So I love that way that you're explaining it, because it makes sense that way.
Such a good point. The other piece of that is just the commitment on the end of the client, because when we do things per session, or when we do things super cheap, or when we do things free, we don't ask for a commitment from our clients. And when we don't ask for a commitment from our clients, they don't get results. They have to make it a priority. So super important.
I love this topic, Kelly, because I think it's so important. And I just wondered, with all your work with your clients, and again, this is going to vary throughout the globe, throughout the world, depending on where you live, but do you have any pointers on, like, where would people start off a membership price or a subscription price? And maybe this is something that you go into more on the Kickstarter, or you can expand further, but do you have any guidance on that?
Yeah, so there is a whole lesson on pricing. I'm going to talk a little bit about pricing here. And I talk about pricing in terms of placing a value, allowing your customer to place a value on your product. In general, I see $50 a month subscriptions work all day long. I see $75 a month subscriptions work all day long. I see $100 a month subscriptions work all day long. For programs, for like higher level programs, or for personal training, you really want to be $500 and above a month.
Okay. Awesome. That's such a great insight. Just again, you have so much experience, so I think it's good to have a jumping off point.
Oh, thank you. So as a freelancer, I'll just say this, as a freelance employee, whenever you're outside of any kind of employment situation and you're billing for your time, you cannot afford, you guys listen up, this is really important. You cannot afford to work for less than $100 an hour. So if you work for less than $100 an hour, you're losing money. And that's a number that's from the Lean Startup, which was written like 15 years ago. So we could probably even double or triple that.
Yeah, I think so too. We know our worth. They know our worth. Don't be afraid. Absolutely. Don't be afraid. Just, I agree. And that is one of our problems. We've had this discussion many times. Me and the crowd of people like in our industry for all these years that we've all been together, we've had this discussion. We are so passionate about what we do. It's almost like we're afraid to charge people because we love so much what we do. Probably different than many industries out there. It's not what it's about. So but you have to change that mindset. And Kelly's here to
think about that. First of all, think about that from the perspective of the client. When they aren't paying, they aren't placing a value on it. And I know that we're afraid to hear those objections. Like, we don't like to hear, I can't afford it, or that's too expensive. But you're hearing that 100% of the time from somebody who, if they dropped their phone down a gutter, they would be in the Apple store in 10 minutes buying a new phone. People make their priorities with their money, and you have to allow them to do that by allowing them to pay you the value of what you're worth. And the ones that don't are not your people.
That's right.
That's so powerful.
So let me talk about one more thing here. So oftentimes when I talk about monthly subscription, we're talking about getting to the place where you are making more than you were making at the gym. So let's say you were making 25 bucks an hour at the gym and you're teaching 2 classes a week, which equals 9 classes a month. So 20 times 9, you're making $180 a month teaching at the gym. That's for your 18 hours worth of work that you're doing for 9 classes, right? So if you were to take that time and instead teach those classes on Zoom direct to clients, it would take you, and let's say you are charging 40 bucks a month, you would only need 5 clients to make more than you were making at the gym. So that's the power of coming out and going direct to consumer, on top of the power of the connection between you and your client and the real life-changing work that you can do with them, because now the front desk is not involved. You get that direct involvement with your client. On top of that, you would only need 5 paying members in order to be making more than you were making at the gym. Now, when you really start to think about making this into a real business, whether you're going to work full-time or part-time on this, we start talking about premium level add-ons and ways to really double and triple that monthly income. So you can supplement those monthly subscriptions by offering premium level services at premium level prices. So now maybe you say, I'm going to teach 2 times a week. It's going to be 75 bucks and we're all going to have a great time. And by the way, if you also want 2 extra hard semi-private lessons with me, where it's just going to be you and 2 other members, and we're going to do, XYZ, that's going to be another 175 bucks a month. So now for those 3 clients, you've already more than tripled your income. You've got 250 coming from each of those 3 clients. And then you've got the 200 coming from the rest of your clients, or maybe 150. So pretty close to tripled it.
Wow.
More than tripled it.
Right.
Yes.
My mind just flowed with the math. I love all the examples, and they're real. They're really real.
Yeah. Well, thank you. So a premium level add-on could be personal training. Could be semi-private training. I'm a big believer in semi-private training because you can charge as much as you would charge for a personal training session, but you've got more than one person going at once. Maybe you stagger their beginning time so that you can spend a little individual time with them, but they get the time together, and groups always have more fun. They get to know each other, they support each other. So I'm a believer because of the group aspect, and I'm a believer because it optimizes your time, and the time that you spend on your business is the only thing that you can never get back. Everything has to be leveraged when you start making it into a business, because you can't ever get that time back.
Yeah. Good point. Good point, Kelly.
So Nancy says, that sounds good, but how do you deal with the number one issue for people not committing is the cost? So, there is a whole lesson on sales as well inside the Kickstart, and it's something that I talk a lot about. I'll just say this about the price objection. The price objection is usually more about the fact that they're considering it and rolling it around in their mind, but they don't know what else to say other than I can't afford it, than it is really about the price. So I think I gave the example earlier of if they dropped their phone in the gutter, they would be in the Apple store with $1,500 in their hot little hand in 10 minutes. So if you're talking to somebody about taking your classes and they're saying that they really want to and that they think it's important to them, you would have a conversation about why it's important to them. You'd have a conversation about what happens if you don't start taking classes with me. if we're talking about serving the 80%, we're talking about people who are really looking to make a behavioral change and a lifestyle change, because we're not talking about the people who are already working out for the most part or already have an existing fitness practice. So Aunt Sally, who won't go to the gym until she loses 10 pounds, is like, hey, you know, I'm interested in your yoga classes. And you're like, great, let's talk about it. So you might find out more from her first about her goals, about what she's tried, about where her pain points really are, what's uncomfortable for her right now. Then when you say, great, it's 75 bucks a month, and she says, oh, that's expensive, you just shut up and let her soak it in for a minute. And then you might go back to, well, I thought your back hurts. How much is that worth to you?
Yeah.
But I think what we tend to do as professionals when we drop that price and then somebody says that's expensive is we say, oh, well, let me think about what discounts I can give you. How can I make it more comfortable for you? How can I make it easier for you? And then that defeats that whole purpose of letting them place a priority with their dollars and letting them put a value on it with their dollars. So we actually don't want to make it super comfortable for people, because then they don't show up and do the work and get the results.
True. You got to set the value, and the value has to be something that they agree with, and that otherwise then it's not going to work either way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also got to support your business, you guys, because at the end of the day, if this is not making enough to pay you for your time, you're not going to be in business for 6 months. So you're not going to be helping anybody.
True.
Okay, so this is the point where I'm going to share a different screen, because I want to do a little drawing for you.
Love it. I love the drawings. I've got notes. I've got
yeah.
Notes,
Any questions anybody want to call out while I'm pulling up this iPad?
Janice wanted to talk about logistics of partnering. So like, how do you physically make the partnership happen? Is it that they're finding the people and bringing them to an event? Is it the partners marketing to their people? Are they renting space? And I just responded to say, actually, it could be any or all of the above. So I think it's good to like define some of your options. What do you have to offer? And, you know, have that little kind of offer sheet. And then that's what you have to go to your partners with and say, hey, we could do this, this, or this. And they'll make it work based on what your options are.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Another thing that I had earlier in the presentation, and I think I might have skipped over it when I was having a little bit of tech issues, is I was suggesting partnerships with organizations. So there are a lot of cabin industry businesses that are cropping up right now that go out and serve retirement communities or apartment communities or churches or community centers. Before the pandemic, my business was sending instructors to community centers. So I would create the schedule, I would be in charge of the instructors, and then I would do a rev share with the community center. I would take 70%, they would keep 30%, but they didn't have to do anything except let us use the facility. And the great thing about partnering in that way was that we were completely using their list. So they were sending out the emails advertising the classes, and they were the ones that were taking the money. All I had to do was show up or have my instructor show up and teach the class. So that's a way to partner with organizations outside of having partners that we do events with, like I talked about in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So just another option.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we've talked about monthly subscription, and then we talked about monthly subscription with kind of premium level add-ons. And I want to do a little math here and show you what this could look like. So let's say your monthly subscription is $50 an hour. Kind of want to make, or $50 a month, right? So $50 a month. What that means is that if you have 9 people, so each of these people is paying 50, right? So you're making $450 a month from your monthly subscription. And that's great, especially if you were only making 180 when you were going into the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Premium level add-ons would have it looking more like this. So let's say you are doing $50 a month as your subscription, and then you've got a premium level add-on. Maybe it's nutrition classes, maybe it's cooking demos, maybe it's a personal training session or a semi-private. And let's say that premium level add-on is $150. So now these bigger boxes represent the people who took you up on that. So now you've got 4 that are paying you $200, because people love a VIP option and people love the extra attention. They are buying it from you because they have a connection with you and they do want that extra attention, especially if they've got goals. And then the rest of these are still paying $50. So in this scenario, we've added 1 client. So we've got 1 extra person down here paying $50. And so that equals what? 300 plus 800. So now you're making 1,100 a month. That's premium level add-ons. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got the last way that I want to talk about, the last way of doing business, which would be transformational coaching, which relies really on you digging deep on what is your true passion, what is your experience, what is your expertise. Is there something that you may want to teach people about that's really going to change their lives and make a difference for them, and that you could charge a higher ticket for? So you're going to be with these people for a longer amount of time and you're going to charge a higher ticket. So what that would look like is, I lost 100 pounds 2 years ago, and I think that I can coach people to lose 100 pounds. I do it all the time teaching my Zumba classes. And now I want to put my own group together of people who are going to lose 50, 100 pounds, whatever it is. And so you put that group together, and let's just say the first time you teach it, you're feeling a little shy about how much you want to charge, because I think 6 months to lose 50 to 100 pounds would be worth a couple $1,000. But let's just say you're feeling shy and you're just going to charge $1,500 for 6 months with you in this coaching program. So $1,500, and let's just say you get 4 of these people in your first cohort, that's $6,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little bit about how the math works in terms of, do you want to just make more than you were making at the gym? Or are you looking to make this like a real business that gets you out of your full-time job, puts you at home with your kids, gets you making full-time money for part-time work, that kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk now about transformational coaching. This will be the last thing that I talk about. If maybe not, I've got to find my screen again.
We can do it.
Yeah, I know, we have got this. Okay, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yay, okay, we did it. All right, so now you see something that says programs?
No, it's your calendar.
Oh, don't look at my calendar. It will stress you out.
I was stressed there for that minute. Yeah. Looks like mine.
All right. So programs, transformational programs, specialized transformational programs. It's the idea that you're taking your own education, expertise, passion, putting it together, making it into a program. The key here is that you understand the people in your audience or in the audience that you want to build, and you know what pain points they have. Maybe you've had them, or maybe you've worked with them for years and years. So many of us have gone out and gotten lots of specialized certifications, and we understand different conditions, different goals that people have, and we can create these specialized transformations. So point A, they have the problem that we can solve. They want to lose 100 pounds, or they want to run a marathon, or they want to do a triathlon, whatever it is. And then point B is where you've gotten them there. So you have coached them through this transformational program. And then you see you've got different steps in your process. So this is a lot of what I teach to my paid clients. I do have some paid clients that are really working on just creating a monthly subscription that has a bajillion people in it and they make all the money from that. But monthly subscription with a bajillion people in it is a longer term play. So creating specialized transformational program is a way to jumpstart a business that not only is impactful and rewarding for you, but makes enough money that you will still be in business in 6 months. You won't be tired of it and out there looking for a 9-to-5. So that's the beauty of specialized transformation in terms of delivering it to your clients and in terms of the financial rewards. Make sense, y'all?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay. So Jennifer is asking, what platform do I recommend for payment subscriptions and for virtual classes? So right now I've been working with somos.fit. I think they're still in beta, but I do believe they are taking some people. So that's SOMMOS.fit. And that is a great platform. I've had several walkthroughs on it, and I'm a big believer in that. I really like it. My own course is housed on Kajabi. That's really more of an educational platform, but it does work really well as well. Yeah, Anna's saying Kajabi as well. Yep.
Hopefully I'm spelling correctly.
Yep. That's how it's spelled. It's kajabi.com.
Okay, there we go. Kajabi.com. Okay.
And, Jillian is in the Grow Your Fitness business for instructors, trainers, and coaches group. And Jillian Schaefer, and she's the Somos person, and she can answer questions about whether or not they're taking any instructors in that. But that platform is really built with instructors in mind, which is very cool because a lot of them are built for personal trainers.
Exactly.
Mm.
Love that. Great insight.
Okay, so I'm going to put this slide up. fitprosconnect.com/kickstart is where you can find the information about the Kickstart. Everyone here, $15 off of the Kickstart. So FitBodies or fitprosconnect.com/kickstart. And if you use the code FitBodies at checkout, you get $15 off of that Kickstart. The Kickstart course is really cool because not only does it have lessons on sales and on audience building and on marketing, like we talked about, but it also has the pricing lesson. It has the lesson about creating your program. And then it comes with a one-on-one meeting with me. So because it's pre-recorded, what I found is that people would fall off and not finish the recordings. And so I said, how can I make sure that they finish watching all the recordings? And the answer was, the first thing that you do when you register for the Kickstart is you register for a one-on-one meeting with me. And you're kind of committing to, okay, my meeting is next Tuesday. I'm going to finish all of the recordings by next Tuesday. So Kelly and I can talk about this, and she can give me custom next steps based on my stage of business and my niche and my platform and all of that stuff. So I meet with you as you finish that Kickstart. So it's a $47 course with the $15 off. It's $32, and you get a meeting with me to get you started. And then the other thing I've got on this slide, you guys, is if you are really ready, if you know that you're ready to either start a transformational program or get a transformational program that you've already kind of got in mind and got going, and you really want to take it to the next level, schedule a call with me so that we can talk about what it might look like for us to work together.
I love that.
Okay. What questions can I answer?
Well, there were a few in there already, huh?
Yeah, I think we've gone through a lot of the ones that popped up, but I just want to say, I think it's really great, all the ideas that you brought to this, like they all just, they got me thinking. So hopefully you guys are in that same space where you're going, okay, I could do this and I could do this and I could do this. I just think it's so useful. Like, we all have coaches in some way, shape, or form within, maybe it's our own craft, or maybe it's something that we're really passionate about. So I think when it comes to business and fitness, that's such a great place to start, because, we all want to be more profitable, We all want to prosper more. We all want to help our clients prosper in some way, shape, or form. So I just think this is such a great place to start. And we really appreciate you, getting everybody into the Kickstarter and giving some opportunities to win a couple of free spots here.
Yes, very
for all
cool.
that. Yeah. Guys, do you guys have questions that you want Kelly to answer? We're going to hop into the trivia here in just a second. So get your fingers and your brains ready to respond, but we definitely want to hear your questions too.
I'm going to put the link, if it's all right with you guys, to my group into the chat right here.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
That's a great place to get to follow me. My YouTube is youtube.com/Kelly Coulter. I do a new video every Tuesday at 3 p.m. And then I'm so sorry. My group is the Grow Your Fitness Business for Instructors, Trainers, and Coaches group. And I'm going to put the link to that in the chat.
Brilliant. Thank you for that. One last pointer that I just want to pop in here is earlier this year, we did a webinar on how to create your own retreat. And retreats have a lot of benefits for you as a professional because you really get to share, again, your love, your passion, your skills with a group of people who are probably already your participants. But also it's a really great opportunity for you to dive into making money from the information that you can share, the experiences that you can share. And a FitBodies resort is such a great place to do that because an all-inclusive resort already has the event space, the meals that are already available. You have entertainment that's right there for you. You don't have to pay for all these individual little things. So if retreats is something that you guys have thought about, or that's something that you want to do in the future, start with the webinar, and that is on our FitBodies website. We'll link that here. This is where the recording will be for this webinar as well. But that's such a great place just to dive in and find out, hey, is it possible for me to do my own retreat and also make some money from it? Which it is possible.
Anna, I feel like it's so silly that we didn't put that in the slides because that's actually something that I'm working on. It's such a good opportunity. I had gone out myself and researched all kinds of ways to do like this great retreat in Charleston, and it was so cost prohibitive. And then I went to Anna and I said, could we do this? And she said, heck yeah. And the commitment and the just the way that it all works is just so great for someone who's just starting out on leading retreats, and it can be profitable.
Yes, absolutely. And we also show you how it can be profitable. So how do you use this budget and kind of a sample P&L to just plug in the numbers that you're comfortable with? So it doesn't necessarily have to be profitable, but if it can be, we give you the template for that. So hopefully we're gonna make that happen, Kelly, one of these days.
Oh yes, for sure. The beginning of this year. We'll talk.
Okay, we'll talk. We'll chat.